guys, so today I'm going to give you a tour of the green sheet conures cages, and this is for Cairo and Evan, and it's 3 cages that are stackable, and you've seen this before in my hedgehog cage tour. His cage is the bottom one. I'm cleaning that one right now. I just cleaned the parrot's cages. Now I like to keep the green sheet conures in these 2 cages because of course they cannot be kept in the same cage. You can never get a second parrot and expect that they'll be able to coexist in the same cage. They probably won't. Sometimes people do get lucky and their parrots like each other. However, none of my parrots actually do like each other, so they do have separate cages, and I really like this cage because it's really convenient with how it's stackable, it's tall, it's a pretty big size for the green sheet conures, and of course they're out of the cage every day, so they do get lots of other exercise, but it's a pretty nice cage for when they're in there. So I just cleaned these cages, and what I try to do is to sand down the perches so that I can get some of the poop off of them. And then what I use for the bottom of the cage are these wood pellets. Now these are actually for horse bedding, but I think they work great for the bottom of the parrot cages because they do smell really good. It's cheap bedding, and it's better than newspaper. You don't usually want to use newspaper because sometimes it can have toxic materials in it, and it's really bad for birds, and I think it looks a lot nicer than paper towels. So I really like the way that it makes my cages look and the way that it smells, and there's that one, and the same for this cage as well. Okay, so I will show you Evan's cage first. They are both green sheet conures. I tried to keep the exact same things in their cage for them, except for a few things that each one had before that they were together. So some things I had for Cairo first, and then some things that Evan came with, or if they just don't like something and then one of them does like it, they get that. But their cages do tend to be pretty much the same. So this toy right here in the front is one of the ones that I made in the video from last week. I did a whole video on making toys for parrots, so that's one of the toys that I made, and it came out pretty good. I just actually put all of the new toys in here right after I cleaned the cage. And then there's their food bowl, and their bowls are actually pretty wide. Their bowls are a lot bigger than like the bowls that I have for Barry's cage, which I wish his bowls were bigger. Not because he needs more room in them, but just because it's wider, so it's easier for them to eat. They seem to like that more. And the water bowl over there. And Evan has this little swing perch that actually does sand down his toenails. I don't usually have to clip the green sheet conures toenails, just sometimes. Here's another little toy. There's this one here in the back, as well as a cuddle bone surrounded by mineral block. I have several rope perches in here for them, and I don't find those dangerous at all. As long as you don't use them once they have worn out, they're perfectly fine to have for your birds. I've never had any issues with them. I know some people do, but I do keep the birds with their toenails trimmed. Like this helps, and if they do need their toenails trimmed, I do trim them. So these really aren't any problem. He has another toy back here with some shells and some little wood blocks and beads. And there's this rope perch, which is a circle. I really like that one for them. They really like it too. They can grab onto it from all different directions. There's also some wood perches. Evan had this branch perch before he came with us, and so I stuck that in there for him. And there's one of the other toys that I made with the green bell there in the back, and one of the little toys with the hat and the pine cone at the bottom, and another little toy here. And there's also a ladder back there, and another cuddle bone on the floor, and this one that fell in here is a cinnamon stick for him to munch on. So that's Evan's cage, and he does not have a bed in this cage because he actually does not use one. I had one in there for him for a while and he just pooped on it, so I took it out. Okay, and now we're going to look at Cairo's cage, and there's Cairo right there. Hi, Cairo. Okay, so he has several wood perches as well. I got him a little swing so that he could have one too, but he actually doesn't really use his swing. Evan does. And then there's this toy here, the same one that we made for Evan. Same one of these toys, just a different color. And then that's one of the toys I've had for him for like ever. He chewed at it for a while and now I think he's bored of it. This cage of course does have the same bowls. There's a cuddle bone in the back on the floor over there. There's the toy with the bell. And he also does have the round perch rope. Back there. And then there's a little hat with the pine cone. And the big difference in this cage is that Cairo has a bed back there. Cairo just loves his bed. He always uses it. He uses it during the day to take naps. He sleeps in it at night. He sometimes goes in there and lays on his back. And he also has a ladder in the back there. He does also have a little mirror with bells on it and the cuddle bone with the mineral block around it. And there's Evan back there. And those are the cages for my green cheek conures. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more parrot videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!